today explaining the determinants of exports. This is the article review for macroeconomics subject. Determinant of export. Before discussing the determinant of export, just a brief description like what is the import and what is the export. So the import is just like that when we are telling that we are importing this watch from US. So this is like an import, like we are taking something from the outside country. And export means we are taking the things from our own country. So what are the determinants of net export? The first determinant is the income. As we can see that when the our income is rises, we are taking the more money, and we are taking the more things from the outside. So when we will say that now my earning is increased, it means that I can take some more things from outside country. We can import the things. So it depends on the first thing is as our income is increases, our import will increase. The second thing is when foreign nation income is rises, they buy more goods, and it will for their export will increase. When the real GDP increase, the import will increase, and the foreign countries' real GDP is increasing, then our export will increase. This is the income. The second one is the relative prices. Suppose if the same quality watch or the same quality jeans is more cheap in like in India, that we are avoiding to buy these things from other countries like US. So this is like the relative prices. In the relative prices, when we will see, we also can see that okay, now the US dollar prices increase, and if some product we are buying from the US or some other country, it's more expensive. So all the consumers are always comparing. So here, when the price level rises in our country, makes that country export seem more expensive to other countries. Price level rise must be relative price rise more than in other countries. Price level rise increases, the import increases and export decreases. Foreign price level rises, increases, our export increase and our import decreases. Okay, this is the relative price. Now the exchange rate. Now, when we will speak about the exchange rate, it's if in terms of US, if we can say for $1 how many rupees they can purchase. It's so these exchange rates is very important. Suppose if a US dollar, suppose if in India, if $1 is like 80 rupees, then we will not buy that particular product from US because that particular we need to pay more rupees. So, and this is like exchange rate. So we can conclude here that like value of dollar is when the value of dollar increases, import increases and the export decreases. These import this is the import for India, and export is decreasing. So when we will speak about the exchange rate, it always depends that in that particular country how many Indian rupees or how many that particular own countries rupees they are exchanging. And the these exchange rate is also defined by some banks. So they have some exchange rate money that is also calculated. Okay. Now the trade policies. There are some trade policies like some tariffs is there. Like suppose if every country is giving some tariffs, okay, that particular number of things you can import, but not more than this. And if you are importing more than this, they have the more taxes. So this is like the tariff policy. Some of the countries are also putting some restrictions. Okay, you cannot import such things from outside because they want that particular country should able to rely on their self. So this is also the one of the reason that they don't want these tariffs. As well as some of the country, like in India, we have the 5 years national plans. In the national plans, we also have one thing that okay, our government is promoting to the like in a village there are so many small cottage industries, and these industries are promoting. So we are always restricting the high technology country for importing. Hmm? Okay. And the cultural preference and technology. Always these cultural preferences, like some of the countries, like if you will see the French movies industries, they have one restrictions that they cannot buy more than 40% movies from the US because they have the craze, and in their radio channels also they have a restriction that if the more than 40% songs will be published or published in the radios, then it will be, they have the fine. So it depends on the cultural preference, and sometimes we will see that if car uses increases, Saudi exports is increasing. And the technology also drives the import and export, because if we have some very new technology, then it's changing the import and export. Net exports and aggregated demand. When we will speak about the net export and aggregate demand is always depends is depend on net export, because when we will having the aggregate demand, the demand curve is shifting right to the, this is the multiplier time of initial exchange of net exports. And if you will see when this real GDP per year, if it is decreasing, this multiplier times is decrease the in net export. Now we will see that in just one example, as a short time. In 1998, in the next the 2 quarters, the net export of US is decreased, because in Asia the income of the persons are reduced, and they didn't buy that much US goods and services. This is the political pressure. Sometimes strong countries are forcing other countries for importing the things. Like US is restricting the other countries for imports. So if we will watch this video, then we can understand it. So,
hampering Iran's oil exports remain on top of the agenda of US foreign policy, no matter in the East or the West. US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton put on a 3-day official visit to India and has pressed New Delhi to cut Iranian oil imports. India has reiterated its stance, saying securing of energy supplies from Iran is guided by its national interests.
Even though India has gotten very close to the United States over the last 20 years, it still needs to pursue its own economic and security policies. And of course, it can see that the U.S. administration, the U.S. government can be very fickle, and one day that a country is a friend could easily be an enemy tomorrow.
The issue has become irritant to New Delhi-Washington ties. India, which is the second biggest buyer of Iranian oil, has rejected repeated US calls for it to cut crude imports from Iran. After failing to convince China, Washington sees New Delhi as crucial in its efforts to squeeze the Iranian economy under the pretext of Tehran's nuclear energy program.
So the reason why India, China, Japan, European countries were the primary purchasers of Iran oil are being asked to lower their supply is to keep the pressure on Iran.
Experts say.
So now, but when we will see this political pressure, in this case, India is rejected the US proposal, and they are doing their own the import of oil from Iran, because it's the national need. So we can appreciate the India for this. Thank you very much.